What's going on, YouTube? Chris here again. Uh, Figured I'd bring you another playthrough since it's Wednesday and all. Big week for me here. You know, May 4th. May the 4th be with you and all that, and Cinco de Mayo on May 5th. So we've been having a busy one over here, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this playthrough posted as quickly as I can today. Anyway, so I've been on a old school kick for probably a week here, and I decided to play a game that was sort of old school, sort of new school. So I busted out the Wii. Yeah, these terrible Wii controllers, I know. I busted these things out to replay and visit the game Heavenly Guardian. Now, if you know anything about this game, then I applaud you because it is not a very well-known game. Because I guess it came out late in life of the Wii system or whatever. But it is a very good game. It's actually sort of loosely based. It's the unofficial, and I mean unofficial, sequel to Pocky and Rocky 1 and 2. If you ever played those are pretty awesome, like little side-scroll shooter. Not really shooters because you're like throwing leaves and cards, but it sort of is a shooter, I would say. I mean, if I had to classify it, I would call it a shooter, kind of beat 'em up kind of game. Except you're not really punching, so I would lean towards shooter. We'll just call it a shooter from here on out. How about that? So basically, this is the unofficial sequel, and in this game, you're this chick, this guardian, snow guardian, or something like that, right? I have no idea. I literally, the plot started ticking, and I was just like, click, don't want to hear it, don't really care. Anyway, so basically what I got from the plot is you're this chick, this little snow guardian, and you have different little ice weapons. They all look like icicles, guys. And you're basically hurling these at enemies and, you know, I guess impaling them. I don't really know. It doesn't really show, but they all just explode into thin air. So we're just going to go with impaling them. So the plot goes like this, basically, from what I saw, because like I said, I skipped through all of it. So basically you're this chick, the snow guardian, blizzard guardian, whatever, and you are on a mission to save this young lad. Oh, young wee lad. Somehow he got sick, and you're out to save him. And, you know, you gotta go to all these places and gather all these materials to make this medicine to make him well. Now, isn't this just so typical? Literally, if this would have been a story about a guy, the guy would have just rolled up. You know, I'm just taking this from any movie I've ever seen. The guy rolls up, sees the chick, gives her a kiss, bang, bada, boom, happy ending. If it's the chick and she's the heroine, I guess, then you have to go through all this rigmarole and BS to save this dude that you probably don't even care about. I don't know, didn't pay attention to the end either, so couldn't tell you. Anyway, so you have to go through this whole spiel to get this medicine to make this dude feel better. I didn't really pay attention to why he's cursed or whatever, but who cares? So anyway, let's get into a couple things I did like about this game. And there was a lot, guys. This game is a phenomenal game for a Wii game, and I hate the Wii. I will be the first to tell you that I rarely dust off the Wii. It is probably, if not the worst system in my console collection slash treasure trove slash I don't know, whatever. Kids playground slash whatever the hell you want to call it. Grown man's shame. I don't know what you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. It is literally the worst console. I hate it. Other than a few name choice games, this system is terrible. And I stand by that. I don't care who's going to comment and blow me up about it. I hate the Wii. I hate it so much. But anyway, I set my hatred aside to bring you this playthrough. And I'm very glad I did because there are a few, and I mean a few, decent games on the Wii. And this is one of them. So basically a couple things I like about it is even for the shitty Wii controller, I mean, I can't really say shitty, but it is, because it is definitely revolutionary. For its time, you know, props to the Wii controller. But it's just so different than anything else we've seen thus far in gaming, so it's going to catch some slack. It's going to catch it from me too. But basically, the controls in this game were phenomenal. I mean, it's no different than playing it on the PS2 because this game also comes in the PS2 version, and both versions play very well. They play phenomenally. They look great. They feel great when you're, you know, rolling around. There's like a roll you can do to dodge people's attacks, and there's, You know, you can fire, she can run, she can jump. Not really jump on her own, but she jumps over rocks, and that's how you find cool shit throughout the level. Who cares, right? But the controls are great. And I love the fact that it is a side scroller. I love the old school feel. Any kind of game that gives me that old school kind of nostalgia factor is amazing to me. I love that feel because it just puts me right back there. I'm right back there, guys. Right back in my old house, sitting on the couch, playing Sonic. I'm right back there, just playing through the old school games that I used to love. And I love any kind of game that can make me feel that kind of nostalgia. And this was a game that definitely hit home for me. So that being said, like I said, I love the side scroll. I love the fluid controls. Some of the best things about this game, guys, are the enemies. The enemies in this game are insane. I mean, it's just kind of like Mobile Light Force, if you ever played that. They have some crazy enemies like gingerbread men and ballerinas and shit. But in this one, you're literally fighting, you know, at first you're fighting snowballs and snowmen and who the hell cares, right? Nobody gives a crap about that. But you go on to the second level, and I swear you are facing, like you're killing these, what look like to be clinically insane grandmas rolling around in rascal scooters. But they're not rascal scooters. They are like full-blown wheelchairs, but they got like a nitrous boost system hooked up. I have no idea, because their attack is literally running you the hell over. Yeah, okay, it's like, vroom. You can hear them just revving their engine. Where the hell's Granny got the engine at, right? She's pushing a V8? I don't believe that shit, man. But it was awesome. Probably on the same level, man, another one of my favorite enemies showed up. Those little scroll guys. And they spit little spitballs at you. So I guess it's paper shooting spitball. They chew themselves up and they spit it at you. Who the hell cares, right? But they basically look like TP rolls just floating around the screen. Just, and they're coming at you. And it's just so hilarious, man. It made me, like, I literally had to press pause and stop and collect myself before I could proceed. Because these things are hilarious, man. I swear, you're going to laugh incessantly. And they're kind of brown, so they could be like, you know, doo-doo stain TP. Who knows? I have no idea. But they are hilarious nonetheless. A couple more guys that I liked. Obviously, the slime. The slime, it's a love-hate kind of thing with the slime. He looks like a big-ass Jello shot. I swear to God, he is a big-ass Jello shot. I'm not even kidding, with like some really crudely drawn little smile on his face and just happy to even be there. He doesn't even know what the hell's going on half the time. You literally, if you see him, avoid him. You can literally just walk past him usually. And I'm trying to think. There's a few more that I liked. The witches, they were really well drawn. Their attacks suck a cock, and they're, you know, super hard to beat. And then the mummies, they're a pain in the ass too. But, I mean, as far as that, like the real breadwinners for me were Grandma's Scooter and the TP roll. Those two alone made this game worth playing. They're just hilarious when you see them. And luckily, this is a game that they really just reuse the same kind of enemies over and over again. Which is, you know, you kind of hate it, but you kind of love it because then when you see ones you like, you're like, ha, there it is again. It's awesome. But, and then let's get into another matter, like the boss battles. Everybody loves boss battles in these, you know, shoot 'em up, you know, hack and slash type games. And this one is another one that has really big, really colorful boss battles that don't disappoint. There are, you know, at least 3 or 4 good ones I saw. The first one that is a little challenging you run into is going to be on level 2. I know I've made this statement. I'm going to make it again. What the fuck, game? Seriously. Why is level 2 the hardest level? It seriously is. I mean, it's not in this case, but it is way more challenging than it needs to be. I literally died like 8 times on level 2. After that, I blew past the next 5 levels without even a sweat. I was like, are you kidding me? Who decides this? Who does this crap? Who says, oh, they think they got past level 1, they think they're hot shit. We're gonna knock their D's in the dirt. Yeah, got them. Oh, level 2. No. Anyway, so in level 2, you're fighting this like chick. And you know, she's full-blown exorcist. She's like flying the hell around, wailing and screeching and shit, throwing books at you. You got books flying off the walls and crap. Nobody knows what the hell's going on, but her real problem is that she shits out these little hearts and they fly at you. And basically, if these things hit you, guess what? All the controls that you just took so long to learn become reverse. Reverse, reverse. I feel like I'm doing the Casper slide over here whenever I'm playing this bitch. Reverse, reverse. You know, it's just, now Charlie Brown. It don't make no damn sense. And I didn't understand it, and I didn't care for it. So that was one that I really didn't like. But all the while, she was challenging, but she was interesting enough to note. Another one of my favorite ones is probably the spider. I can't remember which level he is. He's like 4 or 5. He's a spider, so you know he shits out a bunch of little baby spiders. You're fighting off them, all the while you're fighting off this big guy. All the while he's shitting out freaking, you know, Spider-Man webs at you, and then you got to dodge them or you're gonna be glued to the ground. And then when you finally do kill everybody, you know, you can finally attack him again, which is nice. But he goes down pretty easily. Like I said, once you get past the screeching, wailing, you know, Emily Rose, you know, you'll be fine. Let's see. Another one that I really enjoyed, probably one of the most, like, favorite bosses of mine of the entire game, was like this green little blob guy. The one-eyed monster, I don't know, he's some kind of cyclops, but what was hilarious about him, guys, they called him the one-eyed monster. They should have just called him the one-eyed everything. He literally had one arm, one leg, one eye. You know, I'm surprised he didn't have one little Homer Simpson hair at the top, just chilling, but shit, you know, I didn't do the art, so I don't know. But, his attacks are phenomenal, guys. Like, half the time he's slamming down, other times he's spinning around, break dancing on the ground. You're just trying to avoid him, and all the while he's doing dance moves. I was like, what the hell is this? It's crazy to see, and it is a interesting and fun playthrough for sure. So, you know, those are a couple of the bosses that are worth mentioning. Later on, after you get past Monster Town, there's like this giant jack-o'-lantern headed boss, and he is a giant cockball too. Basically, he has the same attacks as the Emily Rose chick. He's shitting out hearts and lightning bolts and throwing little bombs all over the screen. You know, it's just more of the same. It kind of just starts to repeat itself, but he is pretty colorful nonetheless, and the Monster Town level is really an awesome level, although it is a pain in the ass. We'll get to that. So, another reason I really like this game is that it is a multi-system game, guys. It comes on the PS2 as well as the Wii, so which means if you don't like the Wii like me, you could just go and find it on the PS2 and play it there. I've actually played both, and I'm going to provide video for both in this game, in this video, this review, and honestly, they play exactly the same. The controls are just a little different, and that's because, you know, your hands are like close together versus far apart with the Wii, but that's semantics. The controls are absolutely the same, and you know, it plays relatively the same. It's the same game, other than the fact that if you get later in the levels change a little bit with the PS2 version. I'm not sure why that is, but it definitely does, and it's kind of a pain, but I felt that the PS2 version was a little easier. That's just me. Now, well, let's see. Being a shooter game, of course I gotta say something about co-op play. Co-op play is phenomenal in this game. I don't actually have any footage with me because every time I ask my buddy, he's busy. But just so you know, I'm stating it now. The co-op play in this game is phenomenal. You will love it. Grab your friends, play it with them, guys. I mean, you have to share all the upgrades, so that's kind of a pain in the ass, but you know, the game is so great that playing it together you probably wouldn't even notice, and you certainly wouldn't care because with twice as many people on the screen, you could just destroy everybody and it wouldn't even matter. So, like I said, old school side-scroll shooters, great for co-op play, great for local co-op play. If you don't want to be hopping on the internet to play your co-op games, do like me, man. Invite your buddies over and just have a little tournament. If you die, get your ass off the couch, next on the couch, let's go. You know, just do it like that. That's what I do, and it works great. So all that aside, let's get into a couple things that I didn't like. And there were not many because this game was phenomenal. Oh, before I forget, I will say a couple more things. The game has a phenomenal soundtrack, really, you know, Japanese style soundtrack. The art, everything about it is just on point. It looks good, feels good. Pick this game up. All right, couple things I don't like. Honestly, a couple of times, especially the Emily Rose boss and later the Pumpkinhead, these bosses are pretty cheap and you want to watch out for them. They'll, corner you or manhandle you in some way. And honestly, it is super cheap. And if you don't have like the little souls collected to freeze them out, you're going to have a time. So just be prepared for that because it could get hairy as things go on. Let's see. And if in the event that you do die, like I did, I died pretty late in the game before I wound up finishing it. But in the event that you do die, you need to be careful because you're going to be starting out with a crappy, and I mean crappy gun. Part of the reason I was able to fly through like levels 3 through 7 was mainly because I had a great gun. After I died on 6, then it became a little more challenging. And it will, and it's going to stay challenging from then on until you get a great gun again. So the thing is, if you have a good gun, try to hold on to it. The only reason I even died is because apparently if you don't go fast enough, they start just blasting you with little blue guys on the screen telling you hurry up, and if you're not moving, then they constantly hit you. It's pretty cheap, and I didn't like that either. Also, Monster Town. Monster Town is my biggest complaint about this game. First of all, what the hell, Monster Town? They don't even tell you where to go. They just drop you in the middle of this town, and only by walking the hell around and dying like 4 times did I even figure out what the hell I was supposed to do. Yeah, it's literally a pain in the ass, and it's just like this is a classic example of an old school game right here. You have to die and die and die and die and die and die again before you can figure out what the hell is going on. So in that retrospect, it even provides the nostalgia factor on the parts that I hate. So I can't really hate it, but I kind of do. Well, that's really all I have for this game. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, post them below in the comments box. Overall, I'm going to say this was a phenomenal game. If you don't have it, I suggest you pick it up, whether you do so for the Wii or for the PS2. It is a great game, and it is a great playthrough, and you will enjoy it. You, your buddies, whoever you're going to play with, your little sister, doesn't matter. It's a good game for the whole family. Not too violent, really colorful, looks great, feels great. You'll have a great time. Pick this game up. This game is a great game. It deserves your attention. Play this game. Like I said, as always, comment, rate, subscribe to my videos. They're coming out weekly or bi-weekly. Haven't really nailed that down yet. But, subscribe to the channel for new videos. And if you have any, shout outs to games you would like me to do or anything like that, feel free to comment below and I can get right on that. As always, guys, keep gaming and keep exploring.